Well, my next guest is Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy. He's the man who convinced Elon Musk to take Tesla dollars or out of US dollars and move it into Bitcoin. We know what's happening to the US dollars right now. His company holds over $2.5 billion in Bitcoin, and he is the champion of the Bitcoin standard. Michael is now the guest on my show. Michael, welcome to the show. A real treat to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Real pleasure. So let's talk about, I want to get your take on some news of the day before we kind of get knee deep into gold and where you see Bitcoin going and some of the cryptocurrency standards moving forward. But this struck my eye this morning. This is, to me, something I talk about on our show all the time about, poor people just getting screwed over by central governments and fiat currency. And this was the news of the day today as Venezuela as Venezuelans are taking refuge in cryptocurrencies, moving out of their fiat currency, but we're seeing more and more of this. What's your thought on people there who are living in tents, finding refuge in Bitcoin and crypto?
Well, I think that it's a basic human right to property. And what property really means is the ability to store economic energy over time in order to sustain yourself. We know there's 1.7 people or 1.7 billion that are unbanked. And if I really wanted to wreck your life, first I would take away all your money. Then I would take away your banking account. And then I would collapse the currency that you work in so that even if you do make $100, it's only worth 50 next year and 25 the year thereafter, and it buys nothing in 36 to 48 months. So if you look at the plight of Venezuelans, they've got a collapsing currency. Many of them are unbanked. And of course, the property that they could hold in the country isn't holding value. So what I think is that Bitcoin represents hope to billions and billions of people around the world. And the right to property is a basic human right. And if we take away a bank of economic energy from humanity, it's the same as sentencing them to slow starvation. So obviously I'm a big believer that Bitcoin, is critical to spreading human rights around the world. And what you see right now is that in countries where the currency is collapsing, the banking system doesn't work, then people are turning to Bitcoin and they're using their mobile phones to hold a crypto asset in order to protect themselves.
Yeah, in order to take care of their family, moving away from their country's currency as their country continues to print more money, devalue, debase the currency. Do you think that that's why some of these central banks are pushing back on Bitcoin, on cryptocurrency? Are they scared?
I really think that most central banks view it as an asset, a crypto asset, and so I think there's a narrative in the community that central banks are pushing back on it. I really don't think they are. If I look at all the utterances, I think Mark Carney has said on the record, it's a crypto asset. Jerome Powell has said on the record, it's like digital gold, it's like an asset.
Yeah, he sees it as a store of value.
A store of value. The
Right.
deputy governor of the Chinese central bank has said it's an asset. Christine Lagarde of the EU central bank has said, yeah, it's an asset. I mean, they might say it's a speculative asset, but currency is a medium of exchange, and it's the province of governments. And in order to be a currency, you have to be deemed non-taxable upon transfer. And Bitcoin is not. Bitcoin is deemed property by the IRS, and most countries deem it as property, which makes it an asset, not a currency. So I think that the way the world is evolving, we're going to